Hello, welcome back. My name is Hoto, and today I'm going to be talking about some fucking crazy and wacky shit that's happening today. And it's involving a lot of the Twitch drama and really just like going down the line about what exactly is happening. There's about like 6 things in total, so as an avid viewer of dumpster fires from the sideline, I really appreciate the scenario. It's been really wacky. However, it does put a lot of things involving Twitch into question, I guess. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Just as a preface, this is going to be more of like a podcast type video, so if you're going to like change the screens, go play a game, and just listen in, that's very optimal for this. So, anyways, let's get right into it. Just like how mutually assured destruction stops the United States and like Russia from everyone getting into a nuclear war and the entire world ending, basically that's what was happening with Twitch creators. They all had dirt on each other, basically nuclear bombs that they could lop at each other, and they were all basically calmed down by the fact that each one of them had, like, it could damage each one of them if they ever release this information. Now, everything's coming out. All this shit is just being launched, and Twitch is basically in a fucking nuclear winter because of this. Right? Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover really the big points, which was the drama involving Shit Camp. Then I'm going to move on to Slicker. Then from Slicker, we're going to move on to the aftermath of its Slicker. And then we're going to move on to the last part, which is sort of like a Ms. Kiff and a couple other streamers thing. And then maybe touch on the XQC stuff. Yeah, so first going right into Shit Camp, if you don't know, I'm going to put like a... I'm not going to pull out a video, so I'm just going to like put a photo of Shit Camp, I guess. It was an event hosted by QT Cinderella. It was hosted last year. It was a huge success. Everyone had fun, and that invited her to do Shit Camp again this year, having some of the biggest streamers on Twitch, and basically it's just a place where everyone goes to have fun. So basically what happened at Shit Camp is E-Rob, a huge streamer, I'm going to put him on the screen, and basically some altercation goes on. He jokes about beating up one of his viewers, right? And then he gets banned for 7 days. They come out and slap his ass with a 30 days right after that. So, safe to say that he'll be out for the next monthish until November 9th, I believe, is when he comes back. So, basically, this really starts this doesn't have any correlation to any of the other events that happen at the like after this, but it is the first event of tragedies in the entire list, I suppose. So then after that, we're going to go into Slicker, which is the biggest drama. And I'm sure what you've heard is about Twitch banning gambling. That was a huge thing. Twitch banned a lot of slot games, a lot of gambling on their site. And a lot of you may not know who Slicker is because he's not really that prevalent in my opinion. I think the gambling thing is really where everyone knows it from. So basically, the reason why the gambling ban really went into effect is because of Slicker. So basically, Slicker over the last year or two, I believe, he's essentially scammed over $300,000 from various people in his stream, his mods, other streamers, and some estimates even go so far to say as up to 400,000, which I'm not sure like the real validity of how much it could possibly be, right? But it still is a insane amount of money that he's been just siphoning. And I'll put some of the DMs on the screens while I'm talking, so you really can just pause the video and just look at them. Like, I know one of his, sometimes he'll start off and be like, "Hey, what's your age?" And it's like they've never had conversation prior. He goes, cold start, "What's your age?" And then he's like, "I need some money. I'm in a really tight situation." Sometimes he'll go a sob story and stuff like that. And then he'll just go right in and just ask him for money and put his PayPal in there. And it's just like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, this really happened. Trainwrecks TV even gave him $100,000 at some point for him to pay back the debts to all the people that he owed it to. So he already got money to bail himself out and still continued on with everything. So just to put some of the most notable streamers that he took money from, it's people like Mizkif, Ludwig, Trainwrecks TV, XQC, like some of the hugest streamers on the site were people that he was just taking money from. And with the big streamers, he would often make it a lot more like sad and like, I guess for him it would be like a much more personal thing. It's like they make it a lot sadder for them in order for him. And some of them were like, oh, I need to send money to my mom so she can come visit me, or she's in the hospital, and stuff like that. And it, like, that shit, if it was real, is just really genuinely hard, you know what I mean? And people just felt bad, I guess. Anyways, this would eventually lead to a Twitter ban on slot gambling and betting sites, and this would eventually be because some of the streamers, such as Mizkif and other people, were really spearheading a movement against it, and it was on Twitter. It started, and it was hashtag Twitch Stop Gambling. If you go, I think it's probably still one of the top trending hashtags currently in the United States, and a lot of big streamers were really spearheading this, a lot of Twitch streamers specifically, and this, in the end, would, as you can tell, cause the banning of slot games. And just to put a little clarification on Slickers, it's not necessarily, it is entirely his fault, right? But a lot of what a lot of people are saying, and what is likely the truth, is because he had a genuine gambling addiction. I'm not on his side or anything. I'm not trying to defend him or his actions. I'm just saying, a lot of this can be from the compulsiveness of gambling addictions. Gambling addictions, as a lot of people know, can really take over one's life and lead to things. I just don't want anyone to get the wrong impression and go harass him or something like that, right? So just clarifying that beforehand. Now, over this last 48 hours, lots of, I say, metaphorical skeletons have been falling out of large Twitch streamers' closets. And what I'm going to explain right now is actually, I'd say, the biggest part of the drama, and this was relating to Mizkif and actually its strikers as well. However, its strikers is not the main protagonist or antagonist in this situation. Basically, a lot of people demanded him to be banned, and a lot of people who were doing this after the analyzation of his apology on Asmongold's stream, and one of the main proponents to this was Trainwreck. The person who actually got scammed by its Slicker the most was the one who I guess was in most defense for him. And I don't think it was because Trainwreck liked him necessarily, but more so because of the principle of the ban, I guess. And this would eventually lead to a huge controversy between Asmongold and the people who were supporting him versus Trainwreck TV's own people. Anyways, Mizkif brings up the controversy regarding Trainwreck and involving Joltcoin, saying that he can't take the higher ground when he himself has been a scammer in the past. I'm just going to show a quick thing on the screen about it, and basically Joltcoin was a rug pull / scam. It was a large scam that Trainwreck TVs was involved in. And then Trainwreck TV fires back onto Mizkif about the crazy Slick drama, which Mizkif was someone who was helping cover it all up, and just a lot of stuff. Now, the last final huge bombshell that comes out of all of this was from Ice Poseidon, someone who has been in a stage of irrelevancy for the last maybe decade to 5 years. Anyways, Ice Poseidon, who was actually the old king of Twitch before XQC became as large as he is today. In the past couple of years, actually, he himself, I'll put the CoffeeZilla video in the title of it on the screen, and basically he scammed nearly $500,000 from his viewers, even larger than the whole Slicker controversy. So this would have been actually in like 7 or 6 months ago, and he himself drops the biggest bombshell when he comes out of the woodwork to reveal that Mizkif and him, who on a VC or in chats, at some point used racial and homophobic slurs. Obviously, I'm not going to show that on the screen because, you know. Anyways, but that eventually got Mizkif put on leave by OTK, which is his media group, and effects of all these things happening, and all these streamers having like skeletons in their closet and arguments and just a lot of that stuff. So in conclusion, I'd say that this is a lot like World War II, if not even worse. The carnage immeasurable. And everyone is shooting shots at each other with evidence and wrongdoing, and it's truly shocking to see, I guess, the true light of some of the streamers that we've been watching. Some just, like, even like Mizkif, It's Slicker, and people like that, I guess. Before I go, quick interruption. There's one huge bit of, like, information that I did, that not that I got wrong, but that I kind of glossed over. You know how I said after Trainwreck, so basically I said that Trainwreck TV was accusing Mizkif of covering up the Slick controversy. And the reason why I didn't really know much about it, and the reason why I didn't talk about it before is it hadn't really come to light yet, but it actually came to light just a couple like hours ago, like 8 or so, that actually the reason why that controversy is even significant is because in that Mizkif could be covering up. It was a temporary disappearance of a person, but Mizkif could be covering up sexual assault with that, and actually is being accused of that right now. I didn't actually know, like, specifically why that was a huge thing, but yeah, that actually is huge, and it changes the game for Mizkif altogether. Anyways, yeah, just quick, like, thing on that. Anyways, alright. Word before I head out. If you're still watching to this point, thank you very much for continuing to watch. And I'd have to say this is one of my highest quality and like highest effort projects. So yeah, thank you very much for attending it, and yeah, please drop a subscribe and share the video if you found it interesting. I'm trying to grow the channel and make it bigger and probably provide more quality content for you guys. Anyways, as for like channel updates, I don't really got anything. Just expect a video tomorrow, the day after. I'm trying to hit that like daily grind. Anyways, thank you very much and bye.